We're at the conclusion of creating a recipient size for this nice young lady who was born with a congenitally high hairline, which she wanted a better frame to her face. So this is a very unique set of criteria we're looking for compared to someone, a female, for example, who is just had further recession. Usually what happens when a lady that is aging and loses hair, their cowlick right here is gone. But what we have to do is make sure that when we recreate this hairline, that we don't go back over here and actually just create the whole cowlick from this entire distance. Will be too strong a cowlick. So what we do is we first start with this area right here and we go back and follow the natural hair pattern, and then as we move forward the pattern goes horizontally to actually soften that cowlick. And then as you go forward again, we then recreate the cowlick going back in the last about half a centimeter to a centimeter going backwards. And that three different angles are very important, that you don't make any abrupt transitions. Everything is very soft and gentle as that transition goes forward. And then as you see going this way, actually the angles start to turn back anteriorly. We'll get a better view of that as we move over to the right side and take a look at that. Okay, we are now at the right side of the hairline. What you're seeing right now is that the angles actually start curving down and forward to match the temporal hair. So a little bit of an anterior push on this, but not so much that it actually has a hairline going anteriorly. You don't want that. That's again, it's interesting, the female hairline is exactly the opposite of what happens in a male hairline. About 95% of male hairlines which move anteriorly. These all go posteriorly. The sides are actually angled this way. It's hard to see because they just look like little tiny holes, but you can't tell them, but they're going back this direction. So they're sweeping back and then sweeping down anteriorly. And this is going to be different from the left side. Let's go take a look at the other side. We are finally at the left side of the hairline, and what I want to show you, this is completely different from the other. Remember I said earlier that we don't want to go anteriorly, but there's always a point of turn where the cowlick starts to move in this direction. And so you can see these are actually facing anteriorly because you have to transition from the cowlick going to the side to going forward and then sweeping to the left on this side. So it's actually sweeping downward. So that transition, we have about 3 or 4 rows of hairs that do move anteriorly, but almost everything either follows in a posterior or horizontal direction right here where the split occurs. And then if you look over to the temple, they start to curve left and down, and that's going to match the other temple. But if you remember, on the right side, the entire sweep is going to the right, and you can even see here that maybe half of the left side of the hairline is moving to the right as well, except for a very small transition zone, because there should not be any abrupt transitions when you're working with hair. Everything should be soft and gentle in terms of transitions, and as we move to the left, you can start seeing it arch down to the left side. So again, what's unique about this is not just that this is a female hairline, which is important, but the fact that this is a nice lady that was born with a very high hairline. So we have to preserve the cowlick and then not create too strong a cowlick. At the same time, then recreate a cowlick in front of the transition between her existing cowlick and the front hairline. Hopefully that made sense. My coordinator, Amina, has asked me to clarify a point that I probably didn't say very clearly. The cowlick, what we're talking about, when we say existing cowlick, that's basically her existing anterior female hairline that tends to sweep over to the side. So that's a point of clarification.